with. Let's start down southwest. Let's start over to the west. So Rockville, the rotation likely now north of you. So let's take the radar down a little farther south and southwest. Okay, so just north that we were bulleting Rockville to take cover. More than likely that rotation passed through the city, and hopefully it did not produce a tornado, but I'm afraid it might have.
And Sean, that's by far the strongest couplet that we've seen this afternoon, and as you pointed out, that is now north of Rockville, north of 36, and what you want to focus on, if you are familiar with Rockville, oh, I live near Rockville, this is moving northeast, Crawfordsville, Newmarket, Ladoga, Rossdale, all in the path of this storm. And again, what you're looking at, not traditional radar, but how are these raindrops moving in relation to the radar, away from the radar, and it really gives us a good idea of where the rotation is and where we expect it to go next. So we do have that rotation now just north of Rockville, tracking northeast. These storms are moving 60, 65 miles per hour. You have just minutes, Judson, Marshall, across the northeastern sections of Park County. If you live anywhere near 36 or northeast of 36, Sean, this is by far the strongest that we've seen this afternoon.
And honestly, this is probably on top of them because they're moving so fast. So we look downstream, so we talk Waveland and Russellville. You need to be taking your action right now. You're within the polygon, which will likely be extended to include Newmarket and Waynetown down the road. Now, I'm going to pull out Live Doppler 13 radar because we do have some other areas of concern. Crossed over 65, still a couple of little tight couplets there. And again, even if we don't get a tornado out of this, we're more than likely, as we've been saying, we're going to get some wind damage, but we still want you to be in your shelters. Mulberry, areas east. Now, the tornado threat for now is over for Lafayette. That's more than likely just going to be heavy rain. Then we'll switch you back over to Live Doppler since these are moving so fast, more into reflectivity mode. And
Sean,
Chuck,
that area near Rockville that you guys have been talking about, in fact, towards Marshall and Waveland, for those of you that are familiar with Montgomery County, we have a lot of people that live there that watch us. We're talking primarily now from the FCA camp, that huge International Fellowship of Christian Athletes camp, all the way to Wabash College. So you're talking about 25 miles an hour, or 25 miles in this stretch. A lot of farms out there, but a lot of people living out there too, because this has been an area that's grown up. So this tornado warning for Park County until 3:30, and that would include Rockville, but also that area up near the FCA camp. And really, Angela, this is bleeding then into Montgomery County, and you folks in the Wabash College area, it would be a really good idea to seek shelter now. So that's Crawfordsville up there where this storm is approaching, and very tough day, very tough afternoon.
A very tough afternoon because really, Chuck, at any point, any of these cells could spin up a tornado. Let's reset the radar. So let's bring it out to the large view, cover all of central Indiana. We want to make sure that you know if you live in Kokomo, you live in Indianapolis, you live in Fishers, you live in Bloomington, these storms will also be heading your way over the next hour or so. Locally, we're going to be dealing with that threat through 7 o'clock this evening. As we reset, we want to advise you of the tornado warnings that are in place across central Indiana. Several of those include White County until 3:15, and then as we push south, again, tornado warning for Howard County. This is a new one coming in Howard County. This is going to be a tornado warning until 3:45. That is a new tornado warning until 3:45, and that is going to include parts of Howard County. Clinton County until 3:15. Kelly, if we could quickly remove the radar just to get an idea of what part of Howard County that we're going to be under that tornado warning for. Okay, so it's going to be the western part of Howard County. That's going to be just west of Kokomo, Burlington, and just west of Kokomo for that tornado warning, just north of Rushville until 3:45. But the large view will show that we have along this line of thunderstorms the potential for more tornadic development.
And Angela, we want to give you a quick view right now of what's happening along I-65. We heard from Kevin Rader as he was in Boone County. He is now headed to Clinton County, and I want you to take a look. Obviously, those are storm clouds, but those are some very low-hanging clouds as well. They are traveling to Clinton County at this time. Of course, our crew's safety is our top priority. And Sean, you want to add something to that?
Yeah, I'm just so he's probably south of the main of the line, so he's probably going to have to slow it down. I don't know if he's going to be able to make it into Clinton because he's probably going to drive into the line. He's going to get into some pretty.
There it is.
Yeah, there you go. I mean, right on cue. I had a feeling he was pretty close to that.
And this would be, Sean and Angela and Nicole, this is basically south of the Frankfort exit right now.
Sean, I'm sorry, Chuck, I need to interrupt you. We have a tornado warning now for Hendricks County, so this is starting to creep a little closer to the metro area until 3:45 this afternoon. Montgomery County, Park, Hendricks, and Putnam County, you are under a tornado warning until 3:45 this afternoon.
Yeah, let's switch it over to GR2, and what we're going to do is we're going to work from southwest Indiana, and we'll work up the line because we've got multiple supercell storms, and I was monitoring the chat room out of southwest Indiana. This may be on the ground near Monroe City and perhaps a half-mile wide. That's unconfirmed. So we go a little farther to the north, that cell that's over Jasonville, and then Nicole just passed along the information there about Hendricks County and the tornado warning. So I'm going to show you the velocity, and we're going to look for a couplet. And near Waveland right now, that's probably on top of Waveland. And so we're going to start talking about Alamo, New Market, Roachdale, Bainbridge, and there is the new polygon. So you've got time. You've got a little bit of time, New Market and Ladoga. You're going to have to take your action with this cell that's moving to the tune of 60 miles per hour, moving very fast. And we were talking about Kevin Rader traveling up 65, and I'm going to put the reflectivity back on, so that's what he's driving into, is this heavy rain. And he's going to have to be on the lookout, though the rotation right now appears to be north of him, near Frankfort.
And you can see those cars are pulled off the road now because of that rain. And Sean, one of the things that you mentioned earlier, but it's really important to remember, just because you don't see a tornado doesn't mean there's one. We have these rain-wrapped tornadoes that often occur in weather like this, and it's a huge danger.
Yeah, and that's what we're getting into now, Chuck, as opposed to in central Illinois, the cloud bases were a little bit taller. They weren't as, they were a little more discrete. Now we're starting to get them kind of merged together a little bit, and so it's not a safe idea to be on the roadways here. And I'm going to dive in a little bit, and we'll probably get back over to live Doppler in just a sec. But this is what we're a little concerned about, is the rotation that's near Waveland, and that's why NWS Indianapolis went ahead and threw out that polygon well in advance of this, because still the atmosphere has potential for sure to produce tornadoes. And so right now, Waveland, this is probably on top of you. And so you can see we got Crawfordsville in line in this polygon, New Market, Ladoga, and we're getting a new update there. So New Market, you need to be in your safe shelter right now. Nicole?
At this time, let's go ahead and go over those safe spots that you need to be in. If we want to go to the weather graphics, I know you guys know all this, but as we see all these multiple tornado warnings pop up, you want to go to the basement or the lowest level of your home, stay away from windows and doors. Have flashlights with you, your charged cell phone, take a pillow or a bicycle helmet, football helmet, whatever you need to protect your head when you're in that safe spot. And something you may not think about because you're in your house is to grab those closed-toed shoes just in case something happens and you need to, of course, go outside after that. Sean?
All right, we've got confirmation from NWS of a tornado 10 miles south of Delphi, moving northeast at 75 miles per hour. And that came in about 2 minutes ago. So Kelly's going to dive in on live Doppler 13, and we'll probably have to eventually switch over to velocity mode.
So this would be the area then. It's 10 miles north of Delphi?
They're saying 10 miles, I'm sorry, Chad, they're saying 10 miles south.
Okay, south of Delphi. So then that means that all of you in Oracle territory there in Delphi, you need to seek shelter immediately, and that would include everybody up the river, as you can see from Delphi over towards Camden in Florida. So that's a large area, and you need to seek shelter immediately.
Yeah, you know, I got to tell you, though, that probably must have been an earlier report, because based on radar, it's well northeast of Delphi now. So that's probably why they issued the warnings a little farther to the northeast. But pull out a little bit there, Kelly.
So towards Logansport, Walton is where.
Yeah, Angela, you want to hop in there and see if you can show some velocity couplets there. Maybe perhaps one near Flora.
There is one there near Flora. You can see the brighter green